A report by Professor Tom Brook from Durham University, 2023. Main conclusions. 1. The primary factor behind small boat crossings is the UK's lacking a returns agreement with the EU. The government never assessed the impact of the consequences of leaving the EU without a returns agreement to replace the Dublin III regulation, and was caught by surprise. The UK did not need to leave this agreement when it left the EU. 2. The lack of a returns agreement fueled an increase in crossings. The number of irregular migrants travelling by boat or other vehicles was fairly steady overall since the closure of the Jungle migrant camp near Calais, until Britain left its return agreement with the EU in 2020. Irregular migration has increased significantly since. 3. Illegal human trafficking gangs are the cause of the small boats problem, because they simply exploited this regulatory change, ditching our EU returns agreement. 4. The government did not assess the consequences of leaving a returns agreement with the EU. Since 2016, the government had been warned repeatedly about the consequences of leaving the EU without a returns policy in place, including that it would fuel a large increase in irregular migration. It was asked several times to offer an assessment of the consequences, but it declined. 5. The failure to acknowledge its past policy failure has impacted on its ability to fix it. After repeatedly denying the need to make any assessment of its oven-ready deal, the government appears unable to acknowledge that its failure to agree a returns agreement in this deal would have the consequences it has. 6. Small boats did not create a growing backlog of asylum decisions. This is evident in the growth of the backlog far outpacing the asylum applications made. 7. Ending 6-month targets for asylum decisions has had a significant impact on increasing the backlog. This is the main factor for why decision-making has been made far more slowly than when the target was in place. 8. The government should urgently conduct an end-to-end review of improving the asylum application processing system. Much of the system works too sluggishly, and it lacks a much-needed and often recommended digital platform. 9. The Home Office has required far more caseworkers to reduce the backlog. Even the Tory government acknowledged that 2,500 more caseworkers were needed. This was not achieved. And finally, 10. The government's strategy for efficient processing of applications should not target any one national group. The government has made numerous announcements about taking action specifically against Albanian citizens making asylum claims. These statements have done little to reduce numbers and risk creating a continuing diplomatic row with Albania that is unnecessary and avoidable. Albanians did make up the greatest number of any nationality crossing by small boat, but only in 2022. Previously, there were other national groups that were larger.